Tomáš Zídek, I'm back. For more content, check out my website tomaszidek.com.
Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Bang! And what about problem-solving contracts? You might have clients that tell you, well, I want to solve this problem, or I want to get rid of this, or I do not want this. And is this a good contract to work with? Well, of course it isn't. Just imagine that you hop on a taxi and you tell the driver, I hate downtown, I do not want to go downtown. And the driver responds, well, of course, I hate downtown also, and starts driving you towards his favorite destination. This is how we usually approach conversations. We talk about what is the problem, we talk about what do we hate, what do we do not want, what do we do not like, and we expect that a miracle will happen and we will end up in the destination that we love. But that is rarely the case. When working with negative problem-solving contracts, there is a high risk that the coach will start assuming that he or she knows where the client wants to get. Remember that the outcome always has to be specified by the client. Getting rid of bad communication is not a useful outcome. If you would get rid of the bad communication, what difference would it make? What would be there instead of the bad communication? How would the communication be? Those are questions that you might ask if you want to elicit a positive outcome from the client that you can work with. And what does ICF say about contracting? International Coach Federation defines co-creating the relationship as one of the core competencies of the client. Establishes and maintains agreement is part of this core competency of a coach. ICF defines it as partners with the clients and relevant stakeholders to establish the agreements about the coaching relationship, plans, and goals. Establishes agreement for the overall coaching engagement as well as for each coaching session. 3 points from ICF that I would like to stress out. First one, partners with the client to identify or reconfirm what the client wants to achieve in the session. Partners with the clients to identify what they believe needs to be addressed or resolved to achieve what they want to accomplish in the session. Partners with the client to define measures of success for what they want to achieve in the coaching engagement or in the individual session. So what would be the solution-focused way? So what are your best hopes from today's conversation? Well, I would hope to improve my communication. And how might today's conversation be useful so you can improve your communication? Well, if I would know how to behave in the big meetings, then this might be useful to improve my communication. And what might be some small signs at the end of this conversation that you know how to behave in the big meetings? Well, if I would have a couple ideas that I can try out next week, then I would say that I know that. The solution-focused approach is a non-normative way of having conversation. There is no way we can judge or assume what the client should hope for. The solution-focused coach will always try to understand what is the desired outcome that the client seeks as a result of the work with the coach. What does the client want to have at the end of the conversation? And how would the client know that he has it? Have you enjoyed today's show the same way I did? Then hit the subscribe!